Hello, good morning, second graders. So I'm going to start today off by asking you all a question. So who here has heard of the story, The Three Little Pigs? Would you like to give us a summary, a short little summary of The Three Little Pigs? Yeah, very good. So the Three Little Pigs, we have three pigs. They all build their houses out of different things. And then the wolf comes in and blows down the houses of the first two little pigs. And then all of the pigs go to the third pig's house. And that one is built out of bricks, so it's strong enough to withstand the wolves blowing at them. Right, very good. So today we are going to read a different version of that story. And this one's a little different because it is told from the point of view of the wolf. And remember, point of view is the perspective or the viewpoint of our narrator. So in our story today, we are getting the wolf's version of events. Okay, so pay attention to what the wolf is saying and doing. See if that's like the wolf that you know from the original story. All right, so this is our story. It's called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. It says by a wolf, because it's from our wolf's point of view, as told to John Siska, illustrated by Lane Smith. Okay, so remember, we're paying attention to the wolf's actions and words to see if it's like the wolf in the original story. And also just think about, do you trust what he's saying? Do you think that he's telling the truth in his version of events? I guess we'll see. All right, the true story of the Three Little Pigs. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs. Or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. But you can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? It's kind of silly, huh? So at this point, we have met our wolf. Our wolf has introduced himself to us as the reader. What are you noticing about the wolf? How is he kind of describing himself, or how is he being portrayed in our story here? Yeah, he seems nice. Why does he seem nice? He's making a cake for his granny. That's a pretty nice thing to do, right? Shows that he loves his grandma and he cares about her. Yeah. What else are you noticing about him? Yeah, he's sick. He says he has a terrible sneezing cold. Now think about the original story. How is the wolf described in the original story? He's mean, yeah. He huffs and he puffs and he blows the house down of all of the pigs except the last one. Anything else about The original story wolf, that might be different. He's big and bad. Yes, that's a great observation. Let's look at our wolf for a second. Okay. Does he look big and bad? No, not really. When you think of a big, bad wolf, what do you think that looks like? Yeah, you think he'd look scary? He'd look big and strong? I would be scared of a wolf if he looked big and strong. I don't know if I would be scared of him either. Yeah. What do you think makes him not look so big and bad? Yeah, he's got glasses on. That's true. He's baking a cake. Yeah, I don't think a scary wolf would bake a cake. Anything else? Yeah, very good. He's kind of a skinny wolf, huh? He doesn't seem very strong or scary. He just looks kind of skinny. Very good observations. Let's continue with the wolf. He's going to the first pig's house. It's built out of what? Straw. Very good. All right. So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. Because it's made of straw. That's not going to hold up to knocking on it. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, Little pig, are you in?" No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down, and right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor.